Have you ever thought about the characters that defined your childhood? For many of us, Mary Poppins was the epitome of magic and wonder, the perfect nanny who could make medicine taste like raspberry cordial and jump into chalk drawings. On the other end of the spectrum, there's a character who haunts our nightmares, Pennywise, the terrifying clown from Stephen King's It. One brings joy, the other pure terror. They couldn't be more different, right? Well, what if I told you that they might be two sides of the same ancient coin? Today, we're rediving deep into one of the darkest and most fascinating fan theories out there. Are Mary Poppins and Pennywise secretly related? Let's start by breaking down the evidence, because when you look closely, the similarities are genuinely unsettling. Both Mary Poppins and Pennywise are mysterious, otherworldly beings who seem to operate outside the normal laws of space and time. They don't have a clear origin story. They simply arrive when they're needed or when they're hungry. Mary Poppins floats down from the London sky, carried by her umbrella, just as the Banks family is at a breaking point. Pennywise emerges from the sewers of Derry, Maine every 27 years, coinciding with a cycle of tragedy and fear. They appear out of nowhere, seemingly drawn to a specific kind of emotional energy in a specific location. Their primary targets are children. This is the most obvious and crucial connection. Mary Poppins focuses her attention on Jane and Michael Banks, children whose lives are lacking imagination and joy. She's there to guide them, to teach them, and to nurture their sense of wonder. Pennywise, on the other hand, preys on the children of Derry, specifically the Losers Club. He seeks them out because their fear is the most potent, the most flavorful. It's what he feeds on. So, we have two powerful entities, both singularly focused on children, but for seemingly opposite reasons. One cultivates positive emotions, the other negative. Think about their methods. Both are masters of illusion and psychological manipulation. Mary Poppins creates fantastical worlds to teach her lessons. She has tea parties on the ceiling, jumps into sidewalk art, and uses a spoonful of sugar to make unpleasant tasks enjoyable. Her magic is designed to delight and inspire. Pennywise does the exact same thing, but in reverse. He also creates illusions, but his are tailored to his victims' deepest fears. He manifests as a leper for Eddie, a monstrous bird for Mike, or a sink gushing blood for Beverly. He uses fantasy and illusion not to build children up, but to break them down, to make them easier to consume. Both characters tap into the inner worlds of children, manipulating their perception of reality to achieve their goals. Another creepy parallel is their cyclical nature. Mary Poppins doesn't stay forever. Once her job is done, once the wind changes, she's gone. She leaves as mysteriously as she arrived, floating back up into the clouds. Her departure marks the end of a chapter for the Banks family, leaving them healed and whole. Pennywise operates on a similar, albeit much longer, cycle. He emerges to feed for about a year or two and then returns to hibernation for 27 years. Both entities arrive, fulfill their purpose, and then vanish from the world until the conditions are right for their return. It's a pattern, a cosmic schedule. So let's put it all together. We have two ancient, shape-shifting beings. They come from an unknown place. They are drawn to towns where there's a strong emotional charge. They specifically target children. They use reality-bending powers and elaborate illusions to influence those children. And they operate on a mysterious, repeating cycle before disappearing. When you lay it all out like that, the idea of them being opposites starts to feel a little too convenient. Could they be members of the same species? This is where the theory gets really interesting. Many ancient myths and modern sci-fi stories feature beings that subsist on emotional energy. Think of the Dementors in Harry Potter who feed on happiness, or the psychic vampires you see in various folklore. These creatures need emotion to survive, just like we need food. Now imagine a species like this. Maybe, just maybe, they aren't inherently good or evil. Maybe they're just ... hungry. And perhaps they evolve or adapt to feed on different types of emotional cuisine. One branch of this species could have evolved to feed on positive emotions, joy, wonder, imagination, and love. A being like Mary Poppins would be the perfect predator for this. She doesn't harm the children. In fact, she helps them. She creates situations that generate immense amounts of positive energy, which she then subtly absorbs. She's like a cosmic bee, pollinating the minds of children with joy and taking a little bit of emotional nectar for herself. It's a symbiotic relationship. The children are left happier and better for the experience, and she gets the sustenance she needs to continue her existence. Then there's the other branch, the one that developed a taste for something spicier, more intense. Fear, despair, terror. Pennywise represents this predatory path. He doesn't just want to scare children, he needs to. As he says himself, frightened flesh tastes best. He's not just being cruel for the sake of it. He's salting his meal. He's a cosmic predator in the most literal sense, hunting and consuming his prey. His methods are brutal and direct because his food source requires it. So, are Mary Poppins and Pennywise the same person? Probably not. But are they from the same family tree? It's a chillingly plausible idea. They could be two subspecies of the same ancient emotion-feeding entity, occupying different ecological niches in the emotional landscape of humanity. Mary Poppins is the gentle gatherer nurturing her food source. Pennywise is the vicious hunter stalking his. Stephen King's novels are filled with connections to a larger universe. A macroverse where ancient beings like Pennywise, also known as it, are just one of many powerful forces. The author of the Mary Poppins books, P.L. Travers, was deeply interested in mythology and mysticism. While she probably never intended for her character to be linked with a sewer-dwelling clown, she created a figure that fits perfectly into the archetype of a magical, otherworldly visitor. The theory forces us to re-examine Mary Poppins. Is her magic truly selfless? Or is there a subtle, cosmic hunger behind that cheerful smile and spitspot attitude? When she says she's practically perfect in every way, is she referring to her nannying skills? Or her efficiency as an emotional energy harvester? It adds a layer of darkness to a beloved classic, making you wonder what really lies behind those knowing eyes. So, the next time you watch Mary Poppins float down from the sky, just remember the clown that crawls up from the drain. They might be more alike than you think. One feeds on imagination, the other on fear. But both understand a fundamental truth. Children are the most powerful source of emotional energy in the world. And some things, whether they come from the sky or the sewer, are always hungry. What do you think? Is this just a fun fan theory, or is there a genuine, dark connection we all missed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories you thought you knew.